What's up, everyone? This is Jay from Revolution Radio. So, today, the Republicans decided they were going to storm the House impeachment hearings. And from what I understand, they felt underrepresented. And they felt like they needed to make their presence known. Now, we should understand that we need to worry about their feelings, not about the person who's giving a sworn testimony, not about the person who wants a little anonymity. No, we should worry about Matt Gaetz and his buddies. Now, we kind of knew this was going to happen. Now, the reason why we know is because Mitch McConnell had said that when talking to his fellow Republicans, he said, attack the process. I understand that many of you don't really feel like you can defend the subject, which means look, we know that Donald Trump is kind of lying in this situation. It doesn't look good. We can't fully back him on what is said and what's being contested, but we can attack the process and we can complain about the process and we can complain that it's unfair and it's not the way that we should do it. We should throw ourselves on the floor and pound our fists and kick our feet like we are fucking 3 years old. And that's what they did. Kudos to them for following in line like they should. Like good little doggies. Good job, Matt Gaetz. Here's the problem. One, there were Republicans in the House hearing. They were in charge of, they were on the party that investigated it. That's what happens. Some people are in certain parties, some people are in certain groups that they investigate things. This was one that certain Republicans were there at. Most notably, this happened when Hillary Clinton, when she was being investigated for Benghazi. There was the difference being, though, is the Republicans who were in that hearing, they actually had a few Republicans come into that hearing that were not allowed to be there. And the Republican who was present for there, at least one of them, there were many, but the one that was present that I can think of, and I don't want to say the wrong name, there's Trey something. But anyway, he actually escorted the other Republican who busted in out of the hearing. Now, that's not what happened. That's not what's happening. In fact, turned into kind of a yelling match. Anyway, though, before they decided to come in there and bust things up, the Republicans gave these speeches about how they don't trust the hearings and they're not represented fairly and blah blah blah. Now here's the thing. I don't think that maybe to some people they shed light on the fact that the process is messed up. But I don't really think most people fell for that. And I'll tell you why. Because we're not stupid anymore. We don't just hear things on TV and go, oh yeah, that must be right. No, we hear things and then we research it. And I've been saying it for a long time. I know there's been other people who've covered this. I really wish media covered this a little bit stronger. But the House has full power in how they do this investigation. It's not a trial. It's a hearing, an investigation. It's exploratory at that. There's nothing really even put down on paper. I mean, you know what I'm saying as far as moving forward. I mean, Nancy Pelosi's actually getting her nuts roasted over the fact that she hasn't pushed anything to a vote yet. But the issue is what we kind of learn. The Republicans don't know the Constitution. Not all of them, but these. And look, I argue. If you're going to say, well, the Democrats don't either. No, they probably don't. We would have more people saying, what are you talking about? This is completely fair. This is how the process works. In fact, if you look at the Constitution, you could completely do this investigation without telling anybody. They could have a very closed door, background, shady, dark alleyway investigation about Trump if they wanted to, not letting anyone know, including him. They could get all these votes secured and they could bring it up and be like, boom, impeachment time. And of course, it has to go to the Senate, of course, but you know what I'm saying. They could easily do all that. It's constitutionally, it's fine. The fact that they're throwing their feet and fists down on the ground about this is ridiculous. And it's just more proof that they don't know the Constitution that they pretend to admire so much. It's rather pathetic. Now let's go on to a couple other things, because one of the big things that was trending today was arrest Gates. And most people who participated in that, I'm sure, understand why. But part of the issue is Gates and some of his cohorts there on the Republican Party, they brought electronic devices into a SCIF. Now, what's a SCIF? SCIF is a room that is supposed to be completely secured, and no electronic devices are allowed in unless they're given clearance. And Gates and his cronies brought their cell phones in. Many were recording, taking pictures. Gates took a picture. And in fact, I believe there's a digital recording of him doing something or talking or probably crying to his daddy for more money. Who knows what he's doing? But what would happen if I did that? What would happen if you did that? Let me tell you, you'd be arrested that moment. 5 to 10 years probably. You would never be given any sort of security clearance again. And most likely thrown out of any position you had. But why do all these Republicans get away with it? That doesn't seem right. Well, they're the elite. They're the betters. They are much better than we are. We are we're the ditch diggers. They don't need us. And they prove that more and more. They should really, really be careful, though. Because at some point, the mob's going to take over. We're just not going to handle this BS anymore. It just goes to show that as long as you have a lot of money, you represent someone who has a lot of money, you work for the giant oligarchs in our country, you pretend to admire the Bible and the Constitution, as Donald Trump's lawyer said today, you could kill somebody and get away with it if you wanted to. I'm not suggesting that Matt Gaetz could do that. I'm not. But he did, without a doubt, break a federal law today. On TV. We all saw it. Him and his cronies all did. Pictures were taken. Video is taken. He should be arrested right now, as well as a few other people. But they're not. Meanwhile, you have the average person who goes over the speed limit a little bit, not wearing their seatbelt. Yeah, they're getting tickets. And God forbid if you are a black woman playing video games with your nephew. Fort Worth will fix that for you. My point is, these guys don't even know the Constitution that they say that they represent and love so much. And they're proving it. Matt Gaetz should definitely be arrested. This is all the things we learned today. I don't know. It bothers me more and more. In fact, the next episode is going to be about the protests in Chile, Lebanon, Iraq, Sudan. They're all about income inequality. If you watch the media, you'll see that it's about certain little taxes and things like that, but that's really not what they're about. All I'm saying is all of these situations, all of these protest situations around the world, they mirror America. And every day we have certain things like this that get thrown in our face that say, yes, we're breaking a federal law and we're lying to you, but we're better than you, so shut up. And it's not just the Trump administration as much as you'd like to think so. It is 99% of all of our politicians. 99% of all the major companies in America. All of us spit on us. I don't know. In some ways, I don't see much of a difference. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. In fact, I'm hyped up on it now because I've been researching it. Anyway, I'm curious what you guys think about the Republicans storming in on the hearing. Leave comments if you probably won't. Thank you if you've stayed this long to listen. I appreciate it. Anyway, Jay Dillon on Facebook, JC Show VIP on Twitter, Revolution Radio on Spotify, iTunes, Anchor, all that, and YouTube channel, of course, Community of Ideas. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great evening.